All right, today we're going to be doing a couple things to get the CX-5 ready for the winter. I already washed, waxed, and put a synthetic sealant on this last weekend. You can't really see it because it's not in the sun, but it looks okay. I mean, the paint's not the shiniest, but it's still in pretty good shape, and that should give it enough protection for the rest of the winter. Today I need to add a little bit more coolant because it's a tiny bit low. I need to change the oil, I need to change the air filter, and I need to change the cabin air filter. To change the air filter in a 2013 CX-5, you just pop these two little latches right there, and then just lift that up and out of the way. If you look at it, you can see plenty of stuff down in the cracks. It's honestly not terrible, but you can compare it to the new filter and you can clearly see the difference. So to install the new filter, you just slide it back in there. It sits pretty easily. Lower this down. Now these tabs in the back, you want to make sure they're underneath those little loops. Hold it down the front. Redo these two clips. That's it. Air filter installed. And make sure you dispose of the old one. Cabin air filter on a 2013 Mazda CX-5 is super easy. You just open the glove box, then you take your hands, slide them up to about there, pull in, you're pinching it, and it releases those two clips right there. Then you can see the old air filter right in there. You just pull up on this little tab, pull it out, and as you can see, the old filter is actually pretty dirty at this point. Like, that looks really, really nasty. So it's a good thing we're changing it. It's supposed to be changed every 25,000 miles. Who knows when this one was last changed. Now, if you don't know why you should be changing your cabin air filter, I mean, the air you're breathing in the car is going through this thing. So that's a pretty good reason. You want to change it so it doesn't get mold and too much stuff clogged up in it. Also, if it gets too clogged, it can cause more strain on your air conditioning and your heat. So you don't want that either. So nice new filter. They're super cheap. You only have to change them like every 10, 15,000 miles. You can probably stretch it a little longer than that if you want to. All right, when you go to put it back in, this white tab goes on the bottom. You just put it into the slot. All right, to put it back in, you just make sure this white tab is on the bottom, and you slide it in like that. And that's it. It doesn't really click in there, it just kind of sits, but there it is. Go back up, pinch the sides in. There you go. Air filter done. All right, that's just above the full mark. That should be fine. Looks like this plug may not have been all the way tight, because it has been oozing just a little bit of oil. I'm not normally a fan of these plastic diapers underneath everything, but on this car I actually kind of like it because, as you can see, it keeps the underside of the engine actually looking pretty good. But I'm going to show you why there might be issues with this plug in a second. But yeah, it does look like it's been oozing a little bit of oil. That's okay. We can fix that. All right, well, that's draining the rest of the way. Let's talk about why I don't like taking my car to the dealer. So ignore these chewed up marks around the edges. That was actually me. But I don't know if you can see, but the inside of this plug is completely rounded out. And this car has an immaculate service history. It had all of its oil changes, all the recommended maintenance, everything done at the dealership. Problem with that is the dealership doesn't always employ the most knowledgeable car people, and just because they're the dealership doesn't mean they care about your car more than you care about your car, and that's almost never the case. So it looks like they were using air tools to take this plug on and off, which is stupid because the plug requires like 20 pound-feet of torque, something like that. Like, you can easily hand tighten this thing, and they were using air tools. So at 65,000 miles when we bought it, this inside was completely stripped out. So I saw that last time when I changed the oil, and I had to use an adjustable wrench and get this out. That's why that's all chewed up. But I already ordered a new plug, so that's no big deal. I knew I was replacing it. I'm curious if the leak was this little burr on this washer. I'm going to go ahead and order a new washer for the next oil change, because I did not know that it wasn't going to come with the plug until I got it out, because here's the new plug and it doesn't look like it comes with one. Also, don't know why they made the plug look like this, because they could have just as easily made a conventional bolt and it would have worked just fine. I believe this is an 8. It is. That fits so much nicer. I always hand tighten my filters to guarantee I'm going to be able to get them back off the next time. And I think that's done draining, so let's go ahead and put the new plug in. I'm going to put the side of the washer with a small burr on the outside. Hopefully gets a good seal. I'll go ahead and order a new one. I actually tighten this now, since I can use an Allen wrench and it's not stripping it out, whereas before I couldn't really tighten it because I was just twisting it with the wrench until it didn't want to twist anymore. That should be plenty secure. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. You can get the RAV4 out if you want to. No. Alright. I love you. I'll see you when you get back. Be careful. Alright, I'll do a better job cleaning this in the spring. But let's clean it up just enough we can make sure it's not dripping again next time I check. Because it looks like all those diapers under there probably have not been cleaned since the car was new. So that can be a nice project for when the weather gets a little warmer.